on, Sha?
That's an excellent question. Uh, I wow, I really should have thought this through. I knew I'd be speaking. I knew what the question would be first thing, and yet here I am flummoxed.
I like that word.
Yeah, it's not bad. I guess the reason is as I've told you, I've been working on this writing assignment,
Yeah.
and I finished it.
Nice. Congrats.
I mean, I just write and then send it, and then if I get feedback and so I got feedback, we had meetings, he gave me notes, I took the notes and I worked them in as best I could, and then I was like, "Well, I mean, today is my deadline, which is what I need. I need a deadline. I need a line of the dead in front in order to get me to go, "Oh, I gotta finish this."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, when I finish like, I finished it this morning and sent it to him, and I was like, "Look at me, ahead of schedule," because it wasn't at night. That I think I'm early when I'm getting it done during business hours on the day that it's due instead of an hour, like, before the next day. Like, he
Hey.
got it 11 a.m., and I thought it would be 11 p.m. So, really, I'm ahead of the game by 12 hours.
You still killing it, homie.
Yeah, it counts. I just have been like, "Oh wow, what do I do with all of this extra time in my life that I'm not worrying about a thing?" And then I remembered I do have new things to worry about. They've been knocking on my door since Monday night. "Hey, don't forget us." And I'm like, "Can't get to you until I finish writing this thing." And so now they're like, "What about now?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's fair. Come on in, make yourself comfortable."
There you go.
And I'll deal with you a little later. In the meantime, I'm going to eat breakfast though. So that's what I did.
Well, I'm
So
glad you've made progress.
yes, so that is
Um,
yeah.
it sounds like you're handling it well ish.
Yeah, I mean, manic,
Okay.
but who isn't?
Productive, Manic.
Yeah, I guess so. Productive. Yeah, I was like, wow, while I still have this software up, I should just go ahead and write a pilot. Really, Shalewa? You're going to just go ahead and write a pilot?
Why not?
Well, that's what the other thing that I have to worry about said. Word? We've been we've been here since Monday at 9 p.m. and we've been on your head. And
Yeah.
now you think you're gonna write a pilot, bitch, if you don't handle this. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. Everything as it comes. You right.
Yo.
But that's I mean, I assume that's what undiagnosed ADHD looks like. I mean, I could try to get a diagnosis, but that seems like a lot of brain power that I can't seem to harness right now.
It's another thing to do, Sha.
I don't know how those diagnosed people do it.
You had time to go get diagnosed? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
All of my I really think most of my art productivity is me avoiding doing another art thing.
Yeah, you
Real
agree to
talk.
things, and mine isn't even the other thing that I have to do is practical. Like, I if I don't do it, I will be screwed for a while. So I know, and I even got a heads up that this would be a thing as opposed to the last time I had to deal with it. It's like housework kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know, and I've already been mentally preparing, and now it's like, okay, here is kind of the beginning of your crunch time. And I'm like, okay, I want to use all the time that I have instead of crunching my crunch time into my idea of crunch time, which is hours before. I need to use these days. And so, that's the thought. But I just finished writing. I'm on a roll.
You don't understand, it's pilot.
Yeah,
Okay?
come on, this pilot. No one's buying new shows, by the way. No one's
Nobody.
buying nobody's looking at anybody's cute little pilots, and yet
Real
I'm like,
talk.
"But I gotta bang this one out."
If they are, it's definitely not ours.
It's not mm-mm.
Real talk.
I haven't been near whatever the industry has been looking for, I think, since I started. And then when they were like, "Maybe we are looking for it," they found other versions
Yo,
that were prepared, and I'm like, "Oh, that's fair." They're probably diagnosed.
That's the key right there. We
Yeah.
slacking.
Yeah, the diagnosis is what's gonna help me sell a pilot? I don't know. Let's see if I can do it frantic style because I feel like I know plenty of people who are doing it that way. But yeah, so that's how I'm doing. How are you?
uh, I am sad for some heroes, I guess.
Uh-oh.
Uh, just like I had like all the last like 2 days has been all of my friends like texting me Shannon Sharp and
Hey, again,
Kanye stuff
I must reiterate, no relation.
at all. Different spelling.
No, no, no. Our last names have E's.
Oh damn.
Yeah, that's why I was like, y'all ain't getting me caught up in this. There's not a lot of sharps with E's.
Ah,
So this one, he ain't me.
at all.
I know when the E showed up in my family line's last name, and I don't think his family line had anything to do with it. I know when the decision was to make an E on my put an
Yeah.
E on mine. So that ain't me. Just want to put that out there. Please don't. And he's a sh at a sh. Please
Yeah,
don't.
yo.
No,
Real talk. You know,
not.
like it should have been Sterling that got famous. Real talk.
Yeah.
His brother was the more talented one too. Shame
Oh
about the
wow.
injuries.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
The more talented one. Well,
He
I
was.
don't know. Does he host a podcast? Are we sure he was really the most talented one?
You're fair. You're right. I'm just thinking football. You're right.
Okay, so anyway, please continue with everybody but mine, uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle.
It's just like I don't know. I've had a lot of people like hit me up, be like, "Yo, like this is crazy. Like, yo, what's up with the industry? With people in the industry, yo? Like, do you work with people like that?" I'm like, "Yo, like this stuff makes news because of how weird it is to
Wait,
us too."
wait. I haven't because I wanted to make sure nobody knew what I was talking about, and it's just too fragmented trying to figure out exactly what's going on. What is going on? Is he being accused of sexual assault?
Yeah, like there's essentially the person he's with was 18ish, and so it just looks rough. She's suing him. I forget what for, quite honestly,
Hmm.
but the whole story of it just looks whack. She's I believe she's suing him for rape,
Mm.
but the lawyer she hired is the lawyer involved with like the Diddy case and some other stuff.
Not the one that was like who stepped away from Diddy.
I mean, I don't know the names like that. I just know that like because again, I'm at a point where like some of this stuff I don't even want to know. Like it just I
Yeah,
like I'm trying to be creative, not in the news of the silly that
sure.
is outside of it. But
Right.
so many people hit me up about it that like I know like second or third hand from them.
Right.
They're like so she hired a lawyer that like by most people's opinion is someone that you hire when you're lying,
Oh, okay.
you know. So
Okay. All right. Got it.
she
Got it.
hired that person to sue Shannon for rape.
All right.
Then Shannon released like parts of his text messages that he got from her
Mhm.
as proof that it was all consensual.
Okay.
And the general public is saying either way, you 55 and she was 18. That's nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the midst of that, Kanye put out a song where he sings about uh performing oral on his cousin when he was 8 until he was like 14.
Okay.
And there's like a lot of interesting with that cuz like it's the probably the hardest stance I've seen some people take of like, oh, I don't rock with Kanye. I was like, oh, you was cool with the rest, but this was your line. Interesting.
Huh. Okay.
uh then there's the like there's just aspects of like what like in like 2 days, I feel like a lot of people felt like they had ammo on industry. And I'm trying to get people to understand that like that got nothing to do with most creatives. Like those
Wait.
are
What? Who
yeah,
are
like
the
I had
people?
people were hitting me up saying like, yo, like you work with heads. I'm like, I'm sure everyone works with weird people.
Oh,
But
wow,
to be
okay.
clear, like most creatives, when this comes out, we surprised too. Like we're like, oh, why? Like that's the homeboy was sleeping with 18-year-olds. News to me. I wasn't at those events.
Right.
Uh, you know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
um, and like it was like weird because like people would hit me up and like, yo, you gotta be careful out there, make sure you don't change. I'm like, all these people with that going in, you
Right.
know what I mean? I don't know what like in terms of like the Kanye stuff, like he showed that he had issues early on. They just
Right.
happened to land in a way that we agreed with his exploits.
Uh-huh.
But and then B, this is an issue, I think, in my opinion. I think this is a fascinating reveal that might, tell us other stuff. The issue I have with it is that it feels like a a way to get attention versus like a vulnerable song.
Oh, Kanye's?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
A
like,
way to
I
get
feel like you're
attention.
convoluting like what's happening there with the Shannon thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
Um
these I don't see these as it seems like these are just 2 wild stories that hit on the same day.
yeah, and that's what I was getting. I was like, these things are not the same.
Right.
They're
'Cause I
two
first
different
off,
issues.
like, I mean, I guess Shannon Sharpe is doing whatever, but to lump him in with creatives, like,
Bro,
a situation has, was set up for him to continue to work, uh, via podcast or whatever, but I don't know if I'd throw him in with somebody who's writing and saying jokes, on stage. Like,
I'm
that's, like, so what he's doing is, uh, different. But I guess if you don't wanna thread that needle, he's just somebody who's not going to dig ditches every day for a job,
right.
therefore he must be a creative, which is yikes. So
And you can I mean clearly like I'm struggling even now, but like that's the issue that like it honestly reminded me of the like political like forefront like last few years in the sense that
mhm.
like they threw so many things at me that like I didn't know how to answer because I was like, there's like 7 different things wrong here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, like
Yeah, who's trying to get you caught up? Right.
yo, and like I was getting texts, people was hitting me up on the corner at the bodega. Yo, what's up with your people? I'm like, my people.
Oh my
Like
god. Yeah.
regularly, like literally, and I want to say in person, like 4 different people told me that. Like, yo, what's good with your peoples, yo? Yo, that's crazy. What happened? I'm like, bro, I don't even go outside enough. Uh, for this to be the happening this much to me. This is
Right.
crazy. You know
Huh.
what I mean? But it was frustrating to like have to deal with answer questions with people I don't know, don't
Right.
care about personally like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like it blows my mind that people associate that. Like this dude, a 55-year-old former football player slept with an 18-year-old. You validly, invalidly criticize that, but associate that with me, like as a comedian podcaster. I don't understand. Like that correlation is crazy to me.
Yeah, that is wild. Also, they're I mean, I imagine some people are, trying to foist it on the creative side of it because they don't wanna think about the other side, which is the "there but for the grace of God go them."
Mm,
Like, a dude in his 50s and someone who's, like, 19 or some shit like that. I mean, sadly, that kind of age gap happens, a lot, and I would be like, what are you talking to a 19-year-old about?"
yeah,
Like, if it's not, making arrangements for dinner or, where the Uber's going to pick us up or who's gonna put what body part in which orifice. If that ain't the discussion, like, what are y'all talking about, you know?
I'm blown away by it, Sha.
Is she just there with her eyes crossed while he keeps talking about football or sports in general or other old man shit, or anytime he says, "See, now this is the problem with," I'm sure she just shuts down. But I just, like, That is wild. I don't even know what to say about the Kanye thing. Like, what is I guess I need to read more about it, but do I? I feel like I don't.
Yo, I genuinely find the reveal like I wish he was at a place career wise where like he could do this in an interesting and vulnerable way. But it's not that. It feels like, oh, no one's listening to me anymore. What else can I say? You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, what else can I say to get people to pay attention?
Yeah.
Here's what I used to do on Twitter. It's not going to be nearly as bad as what Kanye is doing. Just let me preface with this. I used to say something wild, a wild and outrageous view on Twitter while everybody else was watching like a debate because all anyone's talking about is the debate, and then I throw in a little something to see if anybody's paying attention. And to this day, only one person has paid attention. Luckily, I knew who that was, and they would message me back like, "You wildin'," and I'm like, "Well, I mean, no one. You are the only person who noticed. So, am I, or is this debate really important?" That's what I would do for fun.
Real talk.
But that is not what Kanye is doing. I don't know what Kanye is doing, and
Wow.
ugh, I don't even
Listen,
wanna yuck.
I'm gonna get ahead of it now, okay?
Okay. Oh, okay.
When I get famous, it's gonna come
Mhm.
out. Everybody knows I got hard opinions on food. I'm a borderline food snob, but I gotta be honest, I eat a surprising amount of Domino's pizza. Okay. That's gonna be the big secret that comes out about Gastor. Okay.
Gastor.
Real talk. It's not real pizza, but I gotta feed four people, and sometimes you can't beat $6.99 for a pie. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'll
But that
let you have it because you have kids and everybody's rushing around and sometimes it is what you have to do. I
that's
get it.
my truth, shot. And
I get it.
I want to get ahead of it now.
All
You know what I
right.
mean? There's gonna be a picture that comes out. Yo, Gastor got four boxes. Yeah, that's me. So my son runs track. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
right.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
you want me to
You're
do.
you're feeding like growing people.
Yeah, like I can't get four pies from the local
No,
dope
you
spot.
cannot.
That's $140, yo. Like it's
And
crazy.
it's gonna take them 3 hours. I
Real
can't.
talk. No, I got a spot. I got a spot. I think closer to you, Fazio's. I love their pizza,
Oh,
but like
right.
when you get it with pepperoni, you had like $42 for one pie.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
true.
yo, this is
That
crazy work.
is true.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I do it every now and then because I want them to know like this is real pizza. But
But you can't do that all the
I can't do
time.
that all the time. Be like, mom,
Mm-mm.
he want pizza like twice a week.
Here's the problem. The problem is this city really feels itself when it comes to pizza made in the city.
Mm.
So, they're all just like, "What? I mean, you're in New York. You're eating New York pizza." And I'm like, "This was a dollar slice, and I believe I've been overcharged." You know what I mean? Like, because even dollar slices are like 2.50 now. So, and they're still with the still tasting like a 52-cent slice. So I'm definitely being overcharged. But the way that you could fix this is New York, but you don't want to. Your frozen pizza game in your grocery stores is trash.
Mm.
It's trash because you've got pizza out here in the street. But I've had cooked bruschetta pizza that was better than many pizzas I've had in many places.
Yo.
But I can't find it here because your frozen pizza game is all just like maybe Tostitos or whatever, and maybe Paul Newman. And then
Okay.
like something that's gluten free and going to fall apart completely because there's no there's nothing in it to hold it together, for the new people who move to the neighborhood. Or I guess I can eat one of your $2.50 slices. And it's yeah, but that's the thing. So, that would so you have to go to Domino's.
Yeah.
You know what I
Nah,
mean?
I'm putting it out there. That's when I get famous, that's gonna be the big reveal. That like I'm still buying that because I'm gonna be like I feel like whenever I do get money, I'm still gonna be like the people that grew up in like the depression, like they still storing shit. You know what I mean? Like after like 18 years of kids, I'm gonna just be like, nah, B, you never know. It might run out,
Mm,
you know?
okay.
So I'm gonna just like I'm gonna just keep like my dad is still saving. I'm like, homie, you 65. Everybody's out the house.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can splurge now. You know, but
Mhm.
he like, nah, you never know. And I feel like that's happening to me with this domino shit. Like I haven't let go. You know, I just keep finding reasons to keep it. You
Right.
know,
I
but
get it. I
that
understand. I understand. I
but that
understand.
that'll be my Shannon story. That's as crazy as I get. Um, everything else odd about me, I think I talked about it at some points on this podcast.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Well, I don't know what you're gonna find out about me. We'll all be interested. Go ahead and flip that rock over, see what you find. I'm not, this isn't a dare or anything, but I'm just saying I'm real boring. I have been for years. So, I
It'll be
mean,
news to Shalewa. She's like, what?
yeah.
I
Oh,
did
I did that? You got footage? I'm gonna need to see some footage. Bring the other person out. Let's see. Let me talk to him because I don't remember that at all. Yuck. That don't sound like me. It's
Nah, I
not
guess
gonna
that
be
other
like
story.
a full on, like, I have never. It's gonna be like, "Are you sure?
Real talk.
Because 'Cause I'm boring." I
Nah,
mean, I have diaries from that time. I can flip through the pages and see what they say, but if they don't correspond with what you're saying, I'm gonna have to believe what I wrote at the time.
oh no, that no, she doesn't use the E. You know what I
Oh, that's
mean?
the other one.
That's the other Sharp. Yeah.
Yeah, no relation. No relation.
Let's get into the news.
Okay.
Kicking us off. Too many capybaras, rodent face vasectomy in luxury Argentine community. That's right. Nordelta is one of Argentina's best known gated communities, built 2 decades ago on a wetland neighborhood neighboring the Luzon River, north of Buenos Aires. It has 45,000 wealthy inhabitants. The habitat has changed in the past 20 years, but is still tempting one of its former occupants, the capybaras, whose numbers have tripled more than 1,000 in just over 3 years. Most neighbors have gone from viewing the giant rodents with sympathy to reporting attacks on pets and destruction of plants.
Ah.
That's what's up, yo. Many are now demanding something be done. The Buenos Aires government has just approved wildlife population control plans that include selective sterilization and contraceptives, with which they hope to reduce the rate of reproduction and solve the growing coexistence problem. Outside of the walls of the gated community, the issue has become a source of amusement. That's what's up. As the largest rodent in the world, the adult capybara can weigh up to 60 kilograms, 132 pounds. Yo, and measures 1.3 meters long. They are vegetarian,
Oh.
amphibious, and live in colonies consisting of a dominant male and several females and their young. Yo, Loki, am I bugging or does this just sound like a family in Bushwick? We like a vegan polyamorous. Yo,
Yeah, yeah, and in a gated community. Yeah, it's all coming from a gated community, absolutely.
real talk. That's what's up, yo. From the window, I see 8 capybaras, 4 adult and 4 young. Some are in the water. The family has about 15 members. It's beautiful.
Is it? I mean, okay, so I full disclosure, I found this story in the New York Times. I didn't even finish reading it, and I was just like, "Nah, I feel like we need to discuss it." Um, because they are rodents.
Right.
I know they are the size of a person on all fours, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like 130 pounds?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And I understand, okay, great. They're what? They're vegetarian? Did it say? I don't know. But so they're not but that's that would spook me. I if they're just walking through, that would spook me. I
Real
don't
talk.
I don't care how cute they are, that would that would scare the bejesus out of me. Little bit. Little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm with you. I
So I also like that they were like, "Well, what if we give them vasectomies. How you gonna do that? How do you talk? It's hard enough getting a human man to get a vasectomy. How we gonna talk the oversized rodent into it? How
Yo.
do they speak Portuguese? Where is this happening? I mean, like, where do they understand?
Question:
Mm.
1,000 rats or one capybara?
One capybara.
Yeah. Real talk. I gotta tell you, I would trade the rat problem for the capybara problem in New York.
Yeah, but I don't want the numbers. I don't want rat numbers in capybaras. You know
I
what
mean,
I
at
mean?
that point, because we don't have the real estate. Like
We
they would
really
be.
don't. Like they literally, there would be huge ridges under our walls of just like, oh, that must be where they walk. I would just bows out like 2 feet because that's where they're bent through. And like, can you? Ugh, no. What would trash pickup look like? Come on, we can't do that. We
This
can't
whole
do that.
bin thing wouldn't work. They would just open the bin like, nah, oh, I don't like this one. Nah, check that
Yeah,
one.
right. No, 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 no. Yeah, they'd have favorite houses. Raccoons would be like, yo, they got to get the fuck out of here. I mean, what are we doing? Mm-mm.
Real talk, your little terrier ain't catching shit. Like, oh, I see him.
Oh yeah,
I see him too.
yeah. Wow, what you gonna do about that? I don't handle that. That is not how I was bred. Yeah, that's just so insane. Just the idea of like hitting them with either some sort of drug to knock them out, and then I guess what do you do? Do you knock them out and then just go and snip the balls off, or put a little rubber band on them so that they lose blood and die, or however it is that we do vasectomies now? That
Yo,
just, I mean, not that it's a violation, but also spread out. Why are you just in my community? And then they also can swim, and they're like oversized beavers. They're a lot. I've met one, a
really?
capybara. Yes.
Where?
Okay. So my best friend Jordan loves animals and all kinds of animals. Like when I first moved in with her, she's the one that had like a snake um and a tarantula, and that I think those belonged to her ex or something. But she had two iguanas, um and a bunch of bearded dragons, leopard spotted geckos, whole thing. A container full of crickets to feed them. You know how it is. And so, um, I feel like her brother also liked animals, and I don't know how he got his hands on a capybara. They have like these. Okay, first off, they have like these conventions for people uh who handle like exotic pets, which is to say pets that shouldn't be here,
Okay,
animals that
okay.
shouldn't be here. Um, and so I don't know if he had a friend that got a cap, but at any rate, I went to her house and she's like, "I have a capybara here," and I was like, "A what? A huda?" And I had to look that up very quickly, and I was like, "What? It's a rodent that's like the size of a big purse?" And then that bitch came out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it is." And it was on the floor, and I was just like, "Yup, that's what that is." And then that bitch climbed my pant leg.
Oh my God.
Gastor. It wasn't a grown. It wasn't a full size. It wasn't like a person, but it was an oversized purse
Oh
climbing
my
my pant
God.
leg fast as fuck. And I was just like, "Get him off, get him off." I'm sure I said it much louder with a lot more fear in my voice.
Real talk. This
Yeah,
is
I
a
was just
horror
like, "Whoop,
story.
whoop, 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 whoop." I think that's probably how it came out. Whoa, whoa, but then she grabbed it and it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
First, we got to get Jordan on the show. Um, that is a bust to me. Um, second, this breaks a long-standing theory I think I had for animals. I
Hmm.
would have assumed cuteness increases when size decreases.
What
This
do you
goes
mean?
against that.
What do you mean? That
Like,
it was still cute and big?
I mean, I would argue rodents are one of the few animals that lose cuteness as they get smaller. Like
No,
nobody
no, no, no,
likes
no, no, no.
rats, nobody
They
likes mice,
become cuter as they get smaller.
but I think this gets more love than the mouse and the rat
Oh, because it's big?
because it's
Because
big.
I don't think people think of it as a rodent.
That's what I'm saying. I think it got so big that it became cute. It lost the ugly because of the little.
I think of it as like a pug where people really just want it to be so ugly it's cute, and
Okay,
it's just ugly.
okay.
No offense, Capybara, I'm not saying that you're hideous like a pug.
Pugs, I'm saying they're hideous.
Bugs are ugh, I'm sorry. I am judging you if you think they're cute. No. Yuck. But, boy, I guarantee the feedback that we get just on me saying pugs are not cute is going to dwarf any other feedback we've ever gotten. I'm
Oh
clocking
man.
it now, and you know what? Not I don't care. That's gonna be the thing that y'all discover about me. She thought pugs were ugly. That's what you'll find out. Um
It's the whole wall with like pugs on bullseyes in the
right,
house.
yeah, you're gonna find that out. But, yeah, I think I yeah, I don't know if they're truly ugly. To me, they kinda look like beavers, I think, because they have, like, little buck teeth.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know honestly, I don't know if we've really taken the capybara into our hearts enough to have, like, a understood, like, this is how we feel, this is what we think of their cuteness. They still feel kinda new to
Right.
America, like, the idea of just, like, "And these animals," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think but when you say rodents, there's like, you're already like, half the time, people don't even realize squirrels are rodents. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Because
Yeah.
they think they're cute, and I'm like, "No, they're just rats with fur coats on," you know?
They
But
bougie. That's it.
yeah, that's all, just a bougie ass rat. They're mean. So, I think we would need to kinda see, capybaras more to see, like, kind of what their temperament is
Right.
before we can decide how cute they are. But right now, I feel like we could put them with, like, beavers of, like I mean, if I see one, it's adorable, but I don't think I want, like, scores of them running through my neighborhood, chewing through shit. Because that's the other thing that rodents do, they chew through wires and shit. I don't know. I
my
mean,
and my
fix them
other
if you got
question,
to. Uh-huh.
my other question is like, I'm not looking for like to hurt animals, but if people make coats out of chinchillas,
Oh.
why not make them out of capybaras since they're bigger? You can get like a whole coat out of one capybara.
I don't think out of 1. I think you gotta. Because I mean, chinchillas are a little well, how big do you think a chinchilla is?
I thought a chinchilla was like a rabbit.
I think they're a little bit bigger than rabbits?
Okay.
Or maybe a big rabbit. Do you have to kill a chinchilla to use their I
I
guess
hope not.
we don't just shave them down, do we, like sheep? I
Yeah,
really
that's what I'm saying. I hope not, but I'ma assume the worst. Like just because
Okay.
people do it. Whenever
Right.
people involved with nature, like we fuck it up. So
Okay.
like
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that we, realized, "Oh, if we just keep shearing the sheep, they'll grow more." I'm surprised we got there with it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Huh.
yeah, whenever I see like a chinchilla coat, like I feel like each bubble was like a chinchilla.
Oh, wow. I can't
Like they like, yo, we need a whole chinchilla for each of these sections.
Oh, yuck.
So like
Yeah, I don't
that's
think
why I
I
never got into fur because I'm like, oh, like I feel like I got
yeah,
like a whole like generation here on me. You know, I think
right.
it's
I
weird.
mean, like, minks are not big.
Yeah,
A mink
like
coat is insane when you really think about it.
yeah, like it's you just taking out whole squads.
Yeah. Oh, squats. Oh,
That's
mink
just crazy,
squads.
yo.
Yeah, that's true.
You imagine
Yeah.
you go out drinking with your homies and people just turn you into a coat because you was chilling together. That's fucked up.
That is.
You just
That
trying to
is.
watch the game together at the bar. You got a little tipsy. Now you can't defend yourself. Now you in the
Um,
net.
I don't how soft are capybaras, though? I
I
didn't
don't.
notice
Yeah,
when that one was scampering up my pant leg. I was too busy trying to escape the world.
that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. Yeah. I'm. Always assumed that like all the rodents have soft hair, just because
Mm,
like I think rabbits are relatively soft.
okay.
Guinea pigs are soft.
Mhm.
I haven't held a mouse. I don't like the idea of that, or a rat,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna assume they're in that chain. So I would assume
I mean,
they
I will say this, I'm looking at this picture of some of them, like, taking a sand bath and
yeah,
a
like
volleyball, and I don't know if it's soft, but it is sleek.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
They're kinda sexy. They got these eyelashes, they're kinda sexy.
real talk.
I'm so sorry. That's what we'll discover. She thought capybaras were sexy and pugs were ugly. But, I mean,
Real talk. I'm telling you, this is they got the eye thing going on. I
yeah,
think like they
I
like they look like the eye looks like a character in like a cartoon, like it just is all
yes.
black.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
it's
It's
very sleek.
yeah, mystery.
But that said, if I saw one of those in my driveway, I would freak the fuck out. So if I saw 3 of them in my driveway, forget about it.
I gotta say, I might be pro capybara as a pet.
As a pet,
Like I would do this over a lot of dogs. You know what I mean?
okay, why?
Just cause like it would be like, yo, like I'm trying to control vermin and like rodents in my crib. So like if I got the biggest rodent already here, you know what I mean? Like, nah, don't
Wow,
come.
you think a capybara would keep out a mouse or a rat?
I think the mouse would be like, oh shit, somebody got here already.
Mm, I think well, you don't think they'd be in cahoots because, we all fam at
Hey,
the
yo, get in here,
club,
get in
we
here.
all
Don't tell
fam?
nobody, B.
Yeah, I'll let you in. You don't think they're not putting those little archways in the base of a wall for the rodents to come in, like cartoon style?
Oh man. Little capybara is the bouncer letting people in because they ain't on
Yeah.
the list.
I don't know. That's the thing is they're still rodents. And I don't
Yeah,
know how much you can trust rodents.
yeah, real talk. I need the rodent.
Are
I
they rodent enough? Because 'cause they're big enough, are they rodent enough to test, like, medicines and stuff on? Like, we have lab rats, can we have a lab capybara?
Yeah, real talk. At this size, they got to get like a pension or something.
Yeah, no, that's true. At this
You got
size,
to pay this capybara.
yeah, you yeah, yeah. That's true. 'Cause you gotta put
Yeah,
them in a T-shirt. Yeah, yeah,
real
it's a
talk.
whole
If I'm
thing.
136 pounds and I'm clocking in at that point, like I'll
You
do
can
all these
put all
tests,
the
bro.
makeup you want on me, but I'm washing that stuff off and going home at night.
Real talk. I'm filling out all this paperwork myself. All right, like
Right?
yeah.
A capybara comes in with a passport. Here we go. That's for my I-9.
Real talk. I co-authored that paper. That's me. Real talk. You see them when they said they injected the rodent, I'm the rodent.
I'm
That's
the
me.
rodent. That was
That's
me.
me. Oh man, that's awesome. I hope they gotta have accents,
Oh,
right?
sure.
They're not American.
Right. So that's what I was asking. Do they understand Portuguese? Is
Oh,
that what they would know? Because
yeah,
where
you're
is this?
right.
Is this happening in Brazil?
You're right. It's Argentina.
Oh, it's Argentina. Oh, what do they speak in? Do they speak Portuguese in Argentina, or is that just
I want to say Spanish,
it's just Spanish? Okay. Okay.
right? I feel like that's Spanish. Yo, real talk. I want to meet some of these bougie rodents.
These bougie-
Every picture I see them, I feel like they write poetry. They
I
they
mean,
they looking off into the distance.
right, right. Again, they are mysterious and dare I say, sexy.
Real talk.
Yes.
All that their hair, like they have a barber or something.
I
They're
don't know.
they
A couple of these, I'm looking at these pictures. A couple of them look kind of rough.
yeah.
They're not all sleek.
I gotta see everyone I've seen. Like I felt like before they did this article, they like, oh yo, let me get that moose.
Maybe, maybe. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. They let monkeys and ducks ride on their backs. See, if they're in cahoots with monkeys, we are done for. Which, by the way, did they ever catch all 40 of those monkeys that got loose in South Carolina? If look, I'm just saying, if we end up with monkeys and capybaras here, like
Yo,
it's done. Fork in it. Put a fork in it.
scary times, yo. Oh man. In other news, Michigan man upset that girlfriend went on a cruise is sent to prison for a ship bomb hoax. That's right. Michigan man was upset that he had to watch pets while his girlfriend's family went on a cruise. He was sentenced to 8 months in prison on Monday for making a false bomb threat.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
he emailed forced the Carnival Corp to check more than 1,000 rooms after the ship had departed Miami in January of 2024. Anyone making a bomb threat should expect to be taken at his word. Fortunately, this particular hoax did not result in physical injury, said the assistant U.S. attorney, Nils Kessler. Joshua Lowe, 19, was sentenced to prison during an appearance in federal court in Kalamazoo. The FBI agents traced the email addressed to Lowe, who was living with his
Because it
girlfriend.
probably was Josh Lowe, you
Nah, he's
know.
19. He was still like being silly. It was like get low. You know what I mean?
Get low 420
Earl talk.
at gmail.com.
Oh man. FBI agents traced the email address to Lowe, who was living with his girlfriend's family. Lowe admitted he sent the message because he was upset that the family went on the cruise while leaving him behind to care for their pets.
I
Lowe
mean,
apologized.
they coulda handled that better maybe. If uh, that is kind of a okay, look, I've read a few advice columns. I went through a
Okay.
very hardcore advice column thing not too long ago.
Okay.
And a question that is asked more than you'd think is
Huh.
like, "Hey, is my family trying to break up me and my boyfriend?" And it's your family, or is my significant other's family trying to break us apart? And it's because the family does something like this, where they're like,
Oh.
"Oh, we're doing a family trip. Yes, I understand that you guys have lived together for 2 years and have actually been together for 3, but we only got enough for, our my kid and no plus ones." So and it's some y and then when they're apart, the family just badmouths the significant other.
Yo.
Yeah, so that is a thing that happens a good deal. So I'm not trying to excuse a bomb threat, but I
Right.
do want Get Low 420 to know you're not you're not paranoid if they actually are after you. You know what I
Real talk.
mean? Like, yeah,
This will be the test.
if your gut is like, "Huh,
Yeah.
why did they say it's okay for me to live with them?" You know, you don't just up and buy a cruise last minute. That shit takes planning. So unless he's been living with him for like a month or less, they ish, or they're like, "Oh, we need to something. We got to have somebody watch these pets. Why don't you? Yeah, he can live with us." And knowing that he's not going on the, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a little grimy. It's a little greasy. There's a little
Yo.
bit of grease there.
Poor Get Low, yo.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, like, that wasn't the way to deal with it. Like, he turned it in the wrong way. He should have destroyed their house. So when they came back, you know what I mean? You went about it the wrong way,
Right.
Get Low, but like but I understand. As Chris Rock would say, but I understand. So Hmm.
Yo, that's awesome. We so are we this actually that version of it kind of came up with my fam because like um not in the cutting somebody out because we're trying to get rid of them, but because of like when they qualify to come with us. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because
Yeah.
like my parents, they try to do like a family vacation. And it's rare that all of us can go.
Mhm.
Me and my siblings. But usually two of us make it, whatever. Um, the one we're currently planning. Um, there's people that are assumed that are going,
Mm.
right? My wife, my kids, my wife has been with me now long enough, longer than like I've had like, so many other things in life essentially. Like
Right.
she's a staple.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my younger sister has been dating somebody. So she was like, "Oh, and he could come." And I was like, no, you can't. And she was like, what do you mean he can't? And I'm like, he don't even got a year in. He got
Oh, yeah, you gotta have a you gotta
yeah,
you gotta put in a little bit of time before you're included on the
yeah. So she's like, he'll hit the year mark right around the time of the thing. I'm like, nah, B, I ain't having homeboy I don't know in pictures, and then
mm,
he not part of the game.
I mean, you can't I understand that, but, who knows? What did your parents say about it?
I think more my dad is paying for it, so he's like, Gastor's right. Like he's super pushing my side of it. he like that. Yeah, Gas was right. I'm like, hell yeah. But like, and to be clear, like the reason she's losing is because I've been the most pro the boyfriend in the group. So I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not anti the kid. I
Right.
invited him to New Year's.
Mhm.
But there's levels to
Right.
the event we can invite him to. You know what I mean? If there was
Mhm.
I'd even go like family reunion, we driving, come through.
Right.
But flying, that's different, my G. Like, you know what I mean? If we drive in, we doing a 8-hour event, barbecue, playing games. Hell yeah, I'm cool with that. That makes
Mhm.
sense.
Mhm.
But like once we talking passports, nah, homie, that's a different level. You got to earn that.
Right.
You got to put in more time. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Alright. How long do you think he should put in?
I think it's I'm gonna go 2 years
Mhm.
or there's some type of legal document
Like
like
marriage?
marriage, a baby,
Oh, not
something like
not if they have a baby, but a legal document. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
some type of legal document.
Okay.
You need paperwork that makes this a reason for us to do this.
Okay.
Like I'll even go like we started a business together. Like we ain't even together like that.
That's weaker than the fucking just 1 year. I'd much rather if it was just 1 year versus y'all started a business together. 'Cause,
Nah, if you
alright,
if
has
you
she
3 years into a barber shop and y'all just homies, I think that's real.
sure, yeah, but, like, if she's just been with him for almost a year, have they been on any trips together?
I want to say road trip. Yeah,
Okay. They probably need to travel
yeah,
somewhere just to see how because they don't know how each other is
yeah. That's
on
different energy.
a serious trip. So I think they need to make like a trip on a plane somewhere. It doesn't have to be another country, just the other side of the country.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? They need to go to the Grand Canyon for like a long weekend and see how that sits
Real talk. Go to
before you
DC.
just because the significant other is going to do stuff and it's only your family and you're the connection, so you will be doing a lot of explaining. So you'll be explaining to the family why your partner does what they do, and you'll be explaining to your partner why your family is this way. So you need to you need to have more intel, and just like driving somewhere and back, I mean, driving somewhere and back is a good way because you are locked in for much longer than on a plane, you know?
Yeah,
You're in a car and yeah, you could maybe figure it out with a playlist or two, but there are some stressors. Overall, it's the overall trip. Whereas the pressure cooker of an airport, you get to learn how someone is very quickly, and you gotta do that twice.
yo,
That's only if it's, like, nonstop. You have to do that twice. It might even be more, but, there are delays, there are things that you can't control. At least in a road trip, you think you can control stuff,
right.
but you really are relinquishing control when you're stuck at the airport, and that is when you really see what someone's made of. So they need to do that first before you get them with the rest of your family on a, you know what I mean?
Yo, if you would like to join Shalewa's new dating network,
Oh, no.
uh, airports only. Okay,
You
find
really
out if
do
your relationship works.
yeah, you really do learn about family too if you don't fly with them a lot.
Real talk. I like it.
Yeah, like, and then you have to fly with family, and you're like, "Oh, you're one of those," or, "Oh, you do this," or, "Hey, slow
Yeah.
down, wait for me," and it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm used to being by myself." Like, Yeah, you learn a lot being stuck in them airports. Whew.
Listen, no, real talk. I think you stumbled into something here. Real talk. All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you an Apple, Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't think it's practical. Admittedly, I agree. This is an expensive first date.
It is not. Nah, just pick a place where you don't want to go, and it's a cheap flight. If
Yo,
it's
real talk.
just for finding out how the other person is, pick a cheap flight, make it I mean, if you're just sniffing around, I don't know, make it a red eye. But if you want the
Yeah.
thick of it, do it during the holidays. You know what I mean? Like during the busy days, or spring break time or shit like that. Like just trying to fly to Orlando and back. You don't even go to Disney World. You hear me? You don't even go to the city. You fly to the airport, you stay at an airport hotel. So now you gotta see
Yo,
what that shit's like. And then the next day you go back to the airport and fly back. Yeah.
real
Yeah.
talk. You stumbled into something here. I really think you got something, Shop. Real talk. People be doing that like wine and paint shit. This could be you.
No, I think this is really much more important. You really will get much more information.
5 stars. This is how you gonna find your partner for life. Real talk. It's beautiful. I'm gonna be at the first wedding that works through this. I'm excited.
Right.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout out to Sweet to FCBLJ. With all that said, I am admittedly happy that I've learned how to coexist with my flying partners.
Oh, good for you.
My wife and kids, we worked it out. I know her strengths, she knows mine. But it took time. I ain't gonna front. That first flight was scary. Gastor Almonte. With the CEO of Meet Your Love in the Sky.
I mean, I ain't doing it. I I fly alone in every sense of the word. I am solo flying.
Somebody gotta be running this thing, okay? That's all.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm
You
just a big
too busy
ideas
captaining the
person.
ship.
Yeah,
Shalewa Sharpe. No relation.
no relation.
Catch y'all next time. This has been just outside of messy episode of the War Report. Peace.